Hey guys, it's Israel here, and this video is going to be different. It's going to turn a corner here, and I think some of you are going to be really disappointed about where this is going because it might seem too obvious. The reason that I think I made this find or this discovery for me had to do with a pursuit of truth in the world, and I realized as I was growing up that there was a lot of different interpretations of the truth. And there were a lot of different avenues of truth and different ways to frame truth. And I came to a point in my life where I felt that I had really exhausted all the different types of ideas that were out there. And I had still this nagging feeling that there was something else. And I've had that nagging feeling my whole life that there was something else out there that I had not really put my finger on, that was just kind of beyond my reach, just barely beyond my reach. And every new avenue or possibility gave me hope that I could find something else. But then I would exhaust that resource. I'd learn about it. I'd talk to the experts and I'd realize the limitations eventually. And that led me to a pursuit of true truth. Like, how do I get to the source? How do I get to the roots of where truth really exists? And that led me on a different kind of path. Instead of going towards the volumes of information and knowledge that was out in the world, I started looking further deeper within myself, trying to understand what was my truth. And even that was very, very difficult and confusing. And it led to a lot of difficult things in my life. Difficulty with relationships, especially, but difficulty with my relationship with myself. But it did lead me to a particularly new door. And that new door is what I'm talking about here. Is this, after that nagging feeling didn't go away for like 30 years, I started trying to go back to the very, very, very beginning and asking myself if maybe I had missed something. And maybe everyone who had been teaching me had missed something. And was there some sort of foundation that I was missing? And that if I had that foundation, I might be able to unlock more. And that maybe this nagging feeling would find a resolution. And that's what I'm talking about here. I've been talking about a lot of things, but in a sense, I've always been talking about our brains and our minds and how they work. And so I've been tracing back the roots of all the knowledge that I have ever discovered. And that brought me back to the origin of language and how language works in the world. And this didn't lead me to want to memorize a bunch of other words and learn a bunch of other languages. Instead, it led me back to the roots of my own language, because I thought, I don't need to learn another language to find the truth. It might be that it's just not where I've been looking. And all of that basically led me back to studying the alphabet. And that's where I'm going with this conversation. For the last 7 years, I've been really studying it. And in fact, I think in the next video, I'm going to read an email that I wrote to my grandfather, who's the man I think I respected the most in the world. He's passed away now, but he was an inventor. He was a brilliant man. His name is still on the patent for a lot of different technologies that are still being used today. And in that email, I kind of lay out the excitement, but the fear and the plea for partnership to try to explore this idea. And that's what I want to jump into next. And from here on out, that's something I'm going to be talking about.